December jobs numbers out, headline number not so good, but once you dig into the details, it's not that bad. Coming up here on The Job. Hi folks, Alex Klingelhoeffer here with Exencial Wealth Advisors. It is 8:12 here in the middle part of the country on Friday. It is January 7th, 2022. Happy Friday to you. Here's your morning jog around the economic headlines of the world. Starting off with the BLS December jobs report. Headline number just under 200,000 jobs. We're looking for 400,000. That's the bad news. Let's dig into the data and see what the jobs report actually says before the algorithms just throw the market down based on the headline number. Unemployment down to 3.9%. Before the pandemic, we were at 3.5%. We are really close to getting full employment or close to structurally full employment together. Household survey data versus business survey data. Remember, the headline number based on business payroll data. Household surveys say we added about 600,000 jobs in the month of December. There's sort of a bifurcation there. I expect that number when we get to January's report to be revised higher. Lastly, if you look at the revisions higher in this report, November up by 100,000, October up by about 40,000. Total jobs really look like we added about 350, much better than the headline 200,000 jobs. Now remember, earlier on this week, we talked about the Democrats needing to start to take some of these economic wins, get out on a stump, talk about what you're doing for the economy. Let's roll the clip. The Democrats don't necessarily have a policy problem. They're not passing any policies, which quite frankly has been a really good thing for the economy. They have a marketing problem. Continue to fight a little bit, maybe get a small win, and then go into 2022 and say, hey, we've got the best economy you guys have ever seen. Let's keep on keeping on with Democratic control of the legislature. And what do we have today? President Biden going to talk about the jobs report this morning on a really kind of good report. Again, headline number, not so great. If you look into the underlying fundamentals of the economy, unemployment below 4%. You've got lots of folks that retired early. That's kind of a good thing in 2020 and 2021. And not so many folks entering the workforce. It's a really good time to be in the job economy. I think this is a really good report and a lot better than the headlines would have you believe. That's what happens when you dig into the data. Want to tie a bow on the Kazakhstan situation before we get to the weekend, because certainly some stuff could pop off while we're not online. The Kazakh president overnight ordered that troops shoot to kill his own citizens in order to tamp down protests. That's a pretty severe order. Of course, Kazakhstan has traditionally been the most peaceful of the stands. Again, we talked about this earlier in the week. It could be another Arab Spring. There is significant political unrest in the region, and that could have a large effect on energy prices should folks decide they need to start taking care of their families versus going to work and pumping oil and uranium out of the ground in Kazakhstan. Definitely a situation I'm going to be paying attention to over the weekend. Last but not least, before we get you off to a nice weekend, Bed Bath & Beyond, we talked about it earlier on this fall about them restructuring, closing some stores. Here's 22, the stores that they are closing in the U.S., at least in the early part of 2022, and there's 37 of them. Here's the key on the stores they're closing. Look at the map. I've got it right here on the screen for you. You've got left coast, you've got east coast. That's where the majority of the stores are closing. They're not closing the stores in the Midwest. Of course, they closed the one in Oklahoma City. I'd be happy, but the revenue would go down so much. My wife loves shopping there. Their revenue directly tied to their internet business and their core positions in the Midwest. That's where they do a lot of their incremental revenue. That's where they win, getting folks affordably priced home goods that are of a high enough quality to satisfy them, bringing goods into their private label sales channel. That's where they're really going to execute well, and that's what the company looks like on a go-forward basis. The new CEO is really targeting that strategy. Not on our buy list yet, but it does look like the company is headed in the correct direction, slashing their unprofitable East Coast stores, focusing on what they really do well, online and Midwest. If you want some additional information throughout the weekend, find me on the internet. I'm out there. Until then, I hope you have a very nice Friday and a great weekend. I am out.